Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just practicing some of the stuff from last time. Hey, before we get started, I'm gonna get a drink.
We're recording. We're
We're
going.
already recording? Okay, I can get a drink later. Hey kids, welcome to Mr. Patrick's Laboratory. It's gonna be an awesome time. I'm so excited. Hey, in the last episode, we were talking about water, and we were talking about some of the really cool things we can do with water. We were transferring water down a string. Remember this? You have a string and you can amaze your parents in how you can actually pour water from one cup to another down a string. You remember why? Yeah, surface tension. Okay? How water molecules, and I'm pouring, you can see the water going up in that other cup. And we talked about how water can go from one place because water molecules, one place to another, because water molecules stick to each other. For my older kids, remember what that was called? It's being polar. Yeah, that's right. It's being polar. And so it was easy to see with that blue liquid this time. I'm sorry I wasn't ready when we got started. I was trying to get a drink, but that's okay. What we're going to do, I'm excited about what we're doing today. There's some exciting experiments and ways that you can fool your parents using some of the amazing things of water. And we're going to do a couple of different things. Here's what we're going to do first. I'm going to take, I saw this one. I thought this one was really, really cool. I've got just a regular plate that we eat on here at home, and I'm going to take a dry erase marker. Miss Christie's going to get a little closer here. And I'm going to draw a man. I'm going to draw, let's say that's the grass in his yard. I just have blue and black, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw a man. I am not a very good artist. Okay? Draw a man like that. And yeah, sure, he's out in the sun. I'm going to put a hat on him. Yeah, like that. And so I'm going to let that just sit there for a second. I'm going to get a little bit of water. Miss Christie's watching him right there. Now, I'm going to give it a second to dry. Now, I want you to watch what happens. I'm going to pour some water in here. Okay? Watch my guy. As I start putting water in there, he comes alive. Do you see him? Oh, it's like he's dancing. Okay, I'm going to give him a little bit more water. Right there, so all of them gets wet. I'm putting it on there slow. And you can amaze your parents because you can't hardly see that water here, but see as I'm pouring, see how all that moves? Look at him. He looks like he's dancing. Look at him. And I can make him go left or right. Woo, look at that move. And he's moving like that. Okay, as a matter of fact, if I reach in there, hey, I don't want the grass in there anymore. Hey, I'll just pull the grass out. Hey, I'll pull that out. Now, I haven't tried this yet, Miss Christie, but I'm going to see if I can take his hat off. Nope, it's stuck to his head. Oh! Okay, his head went back together. I'm okay. And so, watch. It's like he's swimming now. Okay? What is happening? Oh, put your thinking cap back on, man. Put your thinking cap back on. Come on, come on. Put your thinking cap back on. There you go. You got it. You got it figured out. And so what is happening here is a dry erase marker. When it dries, when you pour water, what's actually happening is it separates from the plate. Okay? And so we said that things are like magnets. So water is polar, so it has charges. And so a dry erase marker is not. And so you've heard that oil and water don't mix. Well, that dry erase marker doesn't really mix with water. So if I'm careful with my lines and I make sure everything crosses over each other, the one mistake I made is I didn't make the line quite thick enough, but I make sure it's all together. When I pour the water, it all comes up as one piece. Now, I saw this one on a video. Now again, a lot of the videos I'm doing, I find these and I'm showing you how they work. Okay, I'm not making them all up, but we get to have fun together. See if you can try this one. I saw a guy who liked one of the comic book characters. Okay, Spider-Man, Batman, one of those kinds of things. And what he did was he drew something on a plate like that, and he had a really big bowl. And then what he did was he took his plate and he dipped it into the water. And when he slowly went down in the water, that image floated on top of the water. And then he took his arm and he ran under it. And when he ran it up there, the emblem was on his arm. Sort of like a one-day tattoo. And it comes off, it washes off. It's just dry erase marker. I'm just not a very good artist, so I didn't try that. When I tried it a couple times, it didn't work out very good. All I can make is the guy that... I make the guy that can dance in the water. Why? It's about polarity. And by the way, if I didn't tell you already, water is awesome. See that? That was cool. That's a cool one. Now, for those of you that are better artists than me, start with something small and work up. I bet you can do even better than I did, okay? Now, if that's not all cool and all the stuff that's going with that, I got some other really cool things to do as well. Now, I'm going to take a cup. And so, here's what I'm going to do for the next one. This one's pretty neat. I have from a deck of cards. Now, in a deck of cards, a lot of times you have these info cards that nobody really wants. You're not really using them. So here's a great trick to do with one of those. I just have a cup. I'm going to show you real quick that if I put a cup on the edge, I can balance it like that. Okay, it takes a little second to balance it. And if I take a penny and I try to put it on there, well, that doesn't work very good. Okay, let me try that again. I'm going to balance it on the side. I'm going to be real careful with this penny. And I can balance it there, but it's on the cup. What if I put it outside here on the edge of the card? That doesn't work very good, okay? So you're gonna get a better picture of that from here. So if I put that penny out here, it falls off. But what if I use the little magic of water to do something different? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take water and I'm just gonna fill this cup up. I didn't have enough, let me get a little bit more. And I'm gonna fill it all the way to the top. Okay, so I want to fill it all the way to the top. I didn't get enough. Okay, and so I want to go all the way to the top. Here we go. All the way to the top, all the way to the top edge, top edge, top edge, top edge. Don't spill! Okay, now in the last video, we had a cup like this and we started putting pennies in it to see how many pennies you could get in there before it spilled because water doesn't like to spill. Okay, well, we're going to do something different this time. I'm going to balance that card on there, right like that. Now watch this. Put that penny on there. It didn't fall. Matter of fact, I can pull that card out a little bit. It still doesn't fall. Now, that card starts getting wet, so I'm going to grab another one. I need a little bit more water because it's trying to have a little dip under it. I'm going to use that surface tension. I'm going to use a different card, but this time, I'm going to use different coins. Now, penny's pretty small. So watch this. When I put that card on there, whoa, it's really hanging out there, isn't it? Look at that quarter. Ow! I knocked it off. I jumbled it too much. Let's try again. Made a wave. Look at that quarter. And a dime. And a penny. Think I can get one more on there? I don't know. It's an experiment. Let me try. Another penny, and it finally fell. What is happening is I'm going to use one more card so you can see the whole thing happen. Is I'm using surface tension, and so it's grabbing the bottom of the card. Now I'm going to let it stop moving around here for a second. I'm going to really get it hanging out there. Okay, here we go. Woo! Now I threw it way out there. That card was already bent a little bit. What else can I put out there? I can put a dime. And a penny, and I knocked the quarter off. And there's a quarter. And there's a penny. One more penny. Can you get one more? Yeah. And so you can try to stack them on there. Why? Surface tension is holding on to that card. And you can probably see it on the edge right there. It's really grabbing the edge of that card. It's fighting it. Gravity's here, but surface tension's fighting. Now watch as she keeps the camera right there. Watch this as I push the card. See what happened? I broke the surface tension. Now, here's a great example. You ever been to the lake or you've ever been to a pond and you see those little insects that can run across the water? Can we do that? No. Why? We're too heavy. But if you take a little bug like that, they can run across the top of the water because actually the water's not completely flat. What did we already learn? Water has a little bit of a hump to it because of surface tension. And those little bugs can run across there with their legs because they don't actually sink. And so I'm using that property of water, surface tension, to hold the card. And then it held weight on the outside. All right, that worked really cool. That was a cool one. All right, now here's one that's going to be amazing. Whoa, I got to empty this so I don't spill it everywhere. All right, now watch this one. Now I'm going to dry this up real quick. Now, it ruins your cards, by the way. That's why you want to use the ones that you usually don't use, okay? Because when they get wet, they don't like to bounce back. Now, if you have cards that have a plastic coating on it, they'll work a little bit better. Now, I'm going to show you an amazing trick here for a second. I have 2 soda cans. Now, as Miss Christie gets closer, I want you to see on this can, In this case, the can is black, and then it has an edge on the bottom. And what I want to try to do is a little magic trick where I make this can stand on its edge. So I'm going to make it stand on its edge. So what I'm going to try to do is this kind of thing. And I want it to stand right there. Okay, ready? Okay, that didn't do it. It's empty. But watch this. How did I do that? Now, here's how I did it. Have a certain amount of water. Now I'm going to hide it because I don't want you to see how much. Now when I put it back on its edge, it doesn't do it. Now, how can I make it do it? Again, I don't want you to see how much water because I want you to be able to do the experiment yourself. Don't look, don't look. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Okay, you can open your eyes. And so, notice I have the exact amount of water that I need. And I set it up on its edge. That's awesome. It'll stand. Now watch this. If I push it just barely, it'll roll on that edge. My tablecloth is a little bit, got bumps in it. Whoa, don't spill any. Try it again. And it'll balance really easy. Now, it's trial and error. That's the cool part about it. Scientific method says you try. It didn't work. Try again. Try again until you get it to work, and it will stand. Now, here's what's really awesome. Now, you may think it's a magic can, okay? Close your eyes. Don't look. Close your eyes. I'll tell you when. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. Okay, you can open your eyes. Now, I poured it into this can. Let go of the funnel, okay? Here it is in this can. Same thing. There's an exact place. Water is awesome. It has a certain mass to it. It has a certain volume and a certain density, and we can get it to do cool things. Can you imagine if your parents come home from work and you're like, hey, I don't want to drink the end of this. Hey, real quick, anybody want to drink that? I don't want any more. They'll think you're hilarious. That's awesome. Okay? That's awesome. It stands on its edge. Trial and error, I bet you can figure it out. That's a really cool one. All right? Last but not least, no, we have two more. Oh, yeah, this one's really awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plate and get it out of the way that has my dancing guy on it. And what I'm going to do is, this one's really fun for my artist friends, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to use this plate, other plate. I forgot I had an extra plate. And what I'm going to do is, Miss Christy made some flowers. She's a better artist than me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these flowers. I have a circle in the middle, and I have 5 or 6 petals around them. Okay, pretty easy. We just colored them with map colors. She drew them. I can color. And so anyway, so what I'm going to do is watch this, Miss Christy. I'm going to fold those leaves, those petals, into the middle. Okay, I'm going to fold those. Okay, so I just made a square around the middle. So I'm going to take this one, like this, and this, and this, and this. So I'm just folding them over the middle, like that. Takes a second. Got to be sort of steady. I forgot I had an extra experiment today. This one's really cool. You're going to like this. And my artist friend's going to be really good at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, for my younger friends, I have a quick question for you. What do flowers and plants need in order to grow? They need food and water. And we're talking about water today. So here's what I'm going to do. I just have a cup of water. I'm going to pour it in my plate. And I'm going to give my flowers a little water. So I'm going to throw my flower out on top of the water. Look what it's doing. It's blooming. Here goes another one. Let it get out in the middle of the water. That one's not blooming as well. Let's try this one. There it goes. Add a little water to a flower and it'll try to bloom. And so when you fold them, that one's working a lot better. My 2 bigger ones work better. That's okay. It's an experiment, trial and error. Open up their little flower. Look at that one. Look how cool that is. And it looks like the flower is blooming. And so as the water gets wet, as the paper gets wet, it expands. And as it expands, it pushes those leaves out. Come on, one more. Oh, this one's trying, isn't it? It's trying. And so you can draw your own flower. And so when you drop it in water, say, hey, Mom, I want to grow some plants, but maybe it's raining outside. Can I grow some flowers inside? Well, we don't have anything. Sure I do. Watch this, Mom. And you can throw them on water, and you can watch them bloom right in front of you. That one, I'm going to help that petal one more time. There it goes right there. And look at it one more time, Miss Christy. Look how this one's just opening really, really slow. Matter of fact, if you know anything about plants, some open very quickly, and some are very slow. It's getting there. It's getting there. This one right here is not wanting to do it very much at all. And so they're trying to touch each other. I need to put a little bit more water in there. And so the flowers look like they're blooming. Oh, it's floating a little bit better. That might help. And so it's trial and error. Why? I'm learning too. Man, as I study these things, I'm learning things that I've never learned before. Okay? I'm learning and you're learning. Why? Because science is cool and water is cool. All right? Now, one more that we have is we're going to take this other plate that we had, and I'm going to take this blue liquid. Now I'm going to use the blue liquid so you can see. I call this one fire and water. Now, if you know anything about fire, if you have a fire, one way that might put the fire out, the firemen come, and they might use water to put it out. Fire and water don't go together. And by the way, we never play with fire. Fire is so dangerous. Okay, so if you do this one, you need to make sure that an older brother or sister helps you, or your parent helps you, or a guardian helps you with this one. But I have blue water. Now, it's water with food coloring. That's all it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a candle. So I asked Miss Christy, I said, hey, do you have a candle? I said, do you have a little candle? She said, no, I only have a big candle. I said, okay, we're going to use a big candle. Okay, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to light that candle on fire. We're just going to light the candle. Get the candle going. All right, so I have a candle sitting in water that happens to be blue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a jar that's bigger than my candle. Okay, this is just an empty jar. Okay, I want you to watch what happens. I'm going to set it down in the water and then pull my hands away. Okay, now inside a jar, a fire needs oxygen. But look what the water's doing in the jar. Do you see it going up the side of the jar? As the candle is using up oxygen, it's trying to get oxygen, and the candle just went out. See it bubbling? How cool is that? It sucked almost all the water inside. See it bubbling? What is actually happening is more than one of the science things that I've taught you before. What's happening is, as you remember, you remember the video where we sucked the egg into the bottle? This is the same way, except it's a closed system, meaning the mouth of the jar is down. When you use up all the air inside, use up all the oxygen inside, that fire needs oxygen, so it starts making a vacuum. There's greater pressure out here than in there, and it pushes that water inside. And so the water is sucked inside. If you don't have to have a big candle like this. The way I've seen it before is what they call a little tea light. Isn't that what they call it, Miss Christy? A little tea light's a little one. It's got silver around it, and you light it, okay, and it would float on water. So as the water comes in there, it would actually float for a minute until it goes out. And so the candle would float in the water, but it doesn't matter what kind of candle. You can have a long candle, you can have a fat candle like this one, doesn't matter. But it sucked the blue water inside. Now watch, I'm going to do this really carefully. This is where it can get messy. I'm going to let that water back out. Ooh, it's trying to get messy. And so it spills a little bit, so I'm going to clean that up real quick so I don't get in too much trouble. Move the blue water, move the blue water, move the blue water. I got it. Okay, and so I'm going to wipe this one up real quick too. Woo, one more paper towel. Okay, one more paper towel. And so here's the deal. Every one of these things, you can amaze your parents. Magicians do real tricks with water and different things based on science all the time. And man, it's nothing like getting a drink of water and... Where'd my water go? Miss Christy, you saw me put that water in there, didn't you? There's nothing in there. Where'd it go? It's like magic. Water can do some amazing things, and if you do it and people don't understand, it's not going to be like magic. We did some cool things today. We did everything from flowers opening, and they did really good now. We took a fire and we sucked water up into a jar. We made a can stand on its edge, if I can do it one-handed. Yeah, and you can figure out all these things. And then we did a card and balanced coins on it. Why? Because science is awesome. You guys are smart. Hey, do you think that was a trick? Yes, it was. Magicians use this one. I had water. nothing there. Hey, I hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one on Mr. Patrick's Laboratory. I'm having a great time. How about you?